Her name lights up on your screen after 3 days of silence, and in that instant, your chest tightens, not from joy, but from the tension of uncertainty. You unlock the phone as though it carries salvation, imagining that perhaps this will be the moment she finally sees you, not as an afterthought, not as a background figure, but as the man she secretly longs for. But reality never bends so easily to hope. The message is casual, transactional, a request for your help in moving boxes, or for advice on where she might dine with another man who holds her interest. And in that flash of clarity, humiliation creeps in, though cloaked in the fragile garment of hope. Hope because she still reaches toward you, humiliation because you know the role she has assigned you. You are not her choice, not her risk, not her passion. You are her convenience. It is not love you are being offered. It is labor, not intimacy, but availability. You are the scaffolding that supports her real pursuits, the placeholder she leans on when the man she desires does not answer. You are not her story's hero, not even its worthy rival. You are the unpaid intern of her romantic theater, working tirelessly in the shadows, convinced that persistence will eventually earn you a promotion into her heart. But the truth of psychology is crueler. Persistence is not rewarded in desire, it is punished. This is the position every man fears, yet many inhabit unknowingly. The backup, the contingency, the one she keeps within reach but never within arms. She may not design this role consciously, yet female instinct shapes it with frightening precision. It is not malice but strategy. It grants her attention without risk, support without cost, and validation without the weight of reciprocity. She holds you suspended in the word maybe, which is far more dangerous than no. Rejection at least ends the story. Maybe is a story that refuses to die. Psychology names this cruel magic intermittent reinforcement. A slot machine does not need to pay every time to keep a gambler pulling the lever. It needs only to reward occasionally, unpredictably. Likewise, a woman in this dynamic offers just enough crumbs of affection, a laugh at your joke, a thank you for your help, an intimate conversation when she is lonely to keep you hooked. And like the gambler, you mistake the possibility of a jackpot for the promise of one. The brilliance of this arrangement lies in its asymmetry. She invests little, gains much. You invest everything, gain nothing. She receives the benefits of companionship, problem-solving, and ego-boosting without the obligations of loyalty, intimacy, or commitment. You become her free therapist, her handyman, her emotional sponge. Each act of service feels like an offering at the altar of love, yet all it does is deepen your servitude. Your mistake is not in caring, but in failing to recognize what your care communicates. Every instant reply, every canceled plan for her convenience, every willingness to shoulder burdens she never reciprocates, whispers a message she hears clearly. Your time has no competing value. A man who is always available advertises that no one else desires him. Desire, however, follows scarcity, not abundance. Women may admire kindness, but they are moved by challenge. They may appreciate stability, but they are stirred by mystery. When you make yourself endlessly accessible, you erase the very conditions that generate attraction. This is why the paradox of pursuit is so devastating. You believe that more effort will produce more desire, but effort is not the currency of attraction. A man who chases with unrestrained energy reveals desperation, and desperation is the opposite of magnetism. Attraction blooms where value is sensed, not begged for. If you are always at the door, she has no reason to wonder if she could lose you. And without the possibility of loss, desire withers into convenience. You tell yourself that your persistence proves devotion. But what it truly proves in her psychology is that you have no better alternatives. If you did, you would not exhaust yourself on someone who cannot meet you with equal energy. By making yourself her constant safety net, you confirm that you cannot be her chosen risk. She will lean on you, yes, but she will never fall for you. This is why women, whether consciously or unconsciously, preserve backup men. It is risk management. Relationships end unpredictably, and she secures against this instability by keeping warm the interest of those who will not withdraw, no matter how little they are given. From her perspective, this is rational insurance. From yours, it is an emotional purgatory. And yet, you convince yourself it is progress. More texts exchanged, longer conversations, more invitations to events that hover just short of romance. You tell yourself these are steps forward. But progress without escalation is not progress. It is stasis disguised as motion. Real romantic development is marked by deepening intimacy, mutual investment, exclusivity. False progress is endless conversation, endless availability, endless waiting, with no movement toward a shared future. The cost of being her option is not only the humiliation of unrequited desire, it is the opportunity cost of all you lose while waiting. Every hour spent listening to her stories of another man is an hour not spent with a woman who might actually choose you. Every ounce of energy invested in her comfort drains the reserves you could bring to someone who would value it. By serving her needs, you abandon your own, and the years pass unnoticed until your confidence has eroded, your social circle has shrunk, and your spirit has grown weary of trying. She pays no such cost. She can date others freely while leaning on your steady presence. She can reap the benefits of your labor while giving her passion to another. She loses nothing by maintaining you as an option. You, meanwhile, lose yourself. The deepest cruelty of option status is not rejection, but the denial of closure. Rejection, painful as it is, ends the cycle. It clears the fog. It permits grief, healing, and renewal. But the indefinite maybe denies you mourning. You cannot bury a love that never lived yet never dies. You remain suspended, unable to move forward, unable to let go, living in a twilight where hope and despair feed endlessly on each other. What is the escape? It is not found in greater effort nor in louder declarations of devotion. The escape is found in reclaiming self-respect, in understanding that your value is not measured by how much you are willing to endure for someone else's convenience. True worth is revealed in your willingness to walk away when your investment is not reciprocated. Power in relationships belongs to the one who is less desperate, who has options, who can leave rather than beg. A man who refuses to be an option is a man who insists on mutual enthusiasm. He does not settle for half investments, half truths, half affections. He knows that love must be freely given, not endlessly bargained for. He understands that anything less than shared passion is a counterfeit of intimacy, not the real thing. To become such a man requires discipline of spirit. It requires cultivating a life rich enough that no single woman defines your worth. It requires standards that demand reciprocity, not because you are arrogant, but because you understand the simple truth. Love without equality is exploitation. To refuse to be her option is not to harden your heart, but to protect it for someone who would hold it fully. And when you finally rise from the trap, you will see clearly what the fog of hope concealed, that you were never losing her. You were losing yourself. The woman who keeps you as an option does not need to be hated or resented. She simply needs to be released, for her convenience is not your destiny. You were not made to orbit someone else's desires. You were made to be chosen fully, with certainty, with fire. That is the first truth of liberation. To recognize that your presence is not a favor you give endlessly, but a gift that must be earned with equal offering. Until you believe this, you will continue to kneel in shadows, waiting for light that will never turn toward you. But once you believe it, you will no longer beg for recognition. You will demand resonance, and in that demand, you will discover the only kind of love worth pursuing, the kind that chooses you with the same urgency with which you once chose her. The moment you understand that being an option is the slowest form of rejection, you begin to reclaim yourself. You see that clarity, even when it wounds, is a blessing compared to the endless bleeding of uncertainty. Love is not proven by how much you can endure, but by how equally two people choose one another. Anything less is not love, but dependency disguised as devotion. When you finally walk away from being someone's backup, You step into the dignity of being your own choice first. And it is only from that place of strength that you will meet the one who never asks you to wait in the shadows, but instead pulls you into the light with equal fire, equal faith, and equal desire.